Close your eyes for just a moment. I want you to remember the ache, that hollow, silent space where their presence used to be, the sound of your own heartbeat echoing in the quiet, wondering what you did wrong, what you could have done differently to make them stay, to make them choose you. You've been playing a game where you didn't know the rules, a game of chase where you're always the one running, always the one pleading, always the one left feeling desperate and powerless, pouring your entire soul into a cup that has a hole in the bottom. But what if I told you that the entire game is about to change? What if I told you that in just 7 days you can reset the entire board? That you can transform that aching void into a magnetic force so powerful, so undeniable, that the very person who walked away will feel an irresistible pull to come back. Not out of pity, but out of a genuine burning desire to be near the incredible person you have become. This is not about manipulation. This is a transformation. This is about 7 words, 7 moves, 7 days, flip the avoidance so hard they chase you. This is your blueprint for a personal revolution, a seismic shift in your energy that commands attention and respect. The first of your 7 moves is to become an unshakable fortress of self-worth. You must stop seeking validation from the very person who withheld it. Your value is not a prize they get to award, it is your birthright. You must look in the mirror and declare, with every fiber of your being, that you are enough, you are whole, and you are complete, with or without them. This internal shift is the bedrock upon which everything else is built. The second move is to engineer a glowing, unavoidable silence. This is not the silent treatment born of anger. This is a majestic, powerful silence that speaks volumes. You disappear from their digital world not to punish them, but to rebuild yourself. This vacuum of information creates a space where their curiosity, their anxiety, and their imagination will run wild, wondering what you're doing, who you're with, and why. You're suddenly so at peace without them. The third move is to radiate unbreakable inner peace and joy. Happiness is your most potent magnet. When you are genuinely joyful, peaceful, and engaged in your own life, you become a beacon of light. People are drawn to those who embody the energy they crave. Your tranquility in the face of their chaos will confuse them, intrigue them, and ultimately attract them. The fourth move is to curate a life of irresistible attraction. You must become the prize. Fill your life with passion, purpose, and exciting new experiences. Let them see, not through you telling them, but through the vibrant tapestry of your life, that your world is spectacular, and that a seat at your table is a privilege, not a given. The fifth and final move we'll highlight here is to master the ART of the graceful, empowered re-entry. When contact inevitably happens, you are no longer the desperate person they left. You are calm, you are confident, you are brief, and you are the one who ends the interaction first. You leave them wanting more. You leave them with a taste of the new, empowered you, and you flip the entire dynamic, making them the one who has to wonder and making them the one who has to chase. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and the journey to flip the avoidant begins not with an action directed at them, but with a profound, earth-shattering revolution directed inward. This is the non-negotiable foundation. Without this, every other move is a house of cards waiting to collapse at the first sign of resistance. You must become an unshakable fortress of self-worth. Let's be brutally honest for a moment. The reason you are in this painful dynamic, the reason their avoidance has such a devastating grip on your soul, is because somewhere along the line, you handed them the keys to your own sense of value. You allowed their approval, their attention, their affection to become the currency of your self-esteem. And when they withdrew that currency, your entire emotional economy collapsed. You felt bankrupt. You pleaded, you negotiated, you tried to be better, to be more, to be whatever you thought they wanted, and in doing so you communicated one devastating message: I am not enough on my own, and I need you to feel complete. That energy, that scent of desperation, is like repellent to an avoidant. It feels like pressure, it feels like a cage, and their entire wiring is designed to flee from it. So, the first move is to take back those keys. It's to build a fortress around your heart so strong, so impregnable, that no one's absence or presence can determine its structural integrity. How do you do this? It starts with a declaration of independence that you make to yourself in the quiet of your own mind every single day. You must look at yourself in the mirror and speak words of power over your life. I am enough. My value is inherent and unchangeable. I am whole and complete right now. This isn't affirmations. This is a rewiring of your core identity. You must then take massive action to back up those words. You must invest in yourself with the same fervor you once invested in them. What have you neglected? Your body, your mind, your spirit, your passions, your mission? It's time to go to the gym, not to get a body they will want, but to feel the power in your own muscles. It's time to read the books, learn the skills, pursue the promotion, not to impress them, but to build a life so compelling that you become the most interesting person in your own story. This process is painful because it requires you to sit with the ache of their absence without rushing to fill it. It requires you to feel the withdrawal symptoms of their validation and choose to validate yourself instead. Every time you feel the urge to text them, to check their social media, to find a way into their world, you must stop and you must redirect that energy inward. Use that same emotional intensity to do 10 push-ups, to write a page in your journal, to work on your business plan. You are literally building new neural pathways. You are teaching your brain that the source of your salvation is not out there, it is in here. This is not an act. This is an alchemical transformation of your very being. When you truly, at a cellular level, begin to believe and act as if you are the prize, your energy shifts. You walk differently. You talk differently. You carry yourself with a quiet confidence that is utterly magnetic. The avoidant individual is hypersensitive to energy. They can smell neediness a mile away. They are equally captivated by genuine self-containment. When they sense that you are no longer orbiting their world, that you have become the sun in your own solar system, they are thrown into a state of cognitive dissonance. The person they thought they had figured out, the needy, anxious person, is gone. In their place is a confident, self-assured individual who seems fine, more than fine. They seem fantastic. And that, my friend, is the first crack in their armor. That is the moment the ground beneath their feet begins to shift, and the first inkling of curiosity of what happened to them begins to stir. The fortress is not built to keep people out. It is built so that you can safely look out from the battlements of your own life and decide who is worthy of being let in. And that decision, that power, must always, always remain with you. Now that you have begun the sacred work of fortifying your inner world, it is time to manifest that power in your outer world through a strategy that seems deceptively simple, but is, in fact, one of the most potent forces in human psychology: silence. But this is not the silence of punishment. This is not the cold, angry silence of the silent treatment that screams of your pain and your protest. That kind of silence is weak, it is a reaction, and it is easily decoded. The silence I am talking about is something entirely different. This is a glowing, unavoidable silence. It is a majestic, deliberate, and powerful choice to withdraw your energy, your presence, and your attention. It is the silence of a king or queen who is too busy ruling their own kingdom to bother with the gossip of the village. This move is about creating a vacuum. In nature, abhorrence of a vacuum is a fundamental law. Empty space will always be filled. The same is true in human emotion and psychology, especially for an avoidant individual. Their entire framework is built around controlling distance. They pull away, and they expect you to chase. Your chasing confirms their worldview, that relationships are suffocating and that they are the ones who need space. By engineering this glowing silence, you break the pattern in the most dramatic way possible. You give them exactly what they claim they want, an abundance of space, but in a way they never anticipated. You are not pulling away resentfully. You are gliding away into a life that is so full and vibrant that your absence becomes a loud, echoing presence. How do you execute this? You go completely dark. No texts, no calls, no liking their social media posts, no viewing their stories, no asking friends about them. You become a ghost in their digital world, but a ghost that they know is very much alive and thriving elsewhere. This is crucial. The silence must be combined with the evidence of your transformation from key point 1. They must have a glimpse, however small, that you are not sitting at home pining. You are out living, laughing, and evolving. This period of radio silence does two things simultaneously. First, it gives you the uninterrupted space to truly focus on your own healing and growth. It stops the toxic cycle of you reaching out and feeling rejected, which only depletes your self-worth. It allows the new, confident you to solidify without the constant trigger of their presence. Second, and most importantly, it forces the avoidant person to sit in the silence. You have taken away their predictable opponent. They pulled the lever expecting you to run after them, and instead, you vanished. This creates immense psychological tension for them. Their mind, which is wired to seek freedom from pressure, now encounters a new, confusing kind of pressure, the pressure of your absence. Their curiosity will begin to gnaw at them. Why aren't they chasing me? What are they doing? Are they over me? Did they meet someone else? The avoidant's greatest fear is often enmeshment, but their deepest need is for connection. You have, by your majestic silence, suddenly made the connection feel uncertain, and the human brain is wired to resolve uncertainty. They will start to mentally chase you to resolve the cognitive dissonance you have created. They will check their phone. They will scrutinize your social media for clues. They will replay your last interactions. You are no longer in their reality as a source of pressure, but as a mystery. And a mystery is infinitely more compelling than a certainty. This glowing silence is your declaration of independence. It communicates that your world continues to spin, beautifully and powerfully on its axis, with or without them. It shifts the burden of pursuit onto them. It makes them the one who has to wonder, the one who has to initiate, the one who has to break the silence to see if they still have a place in the spectacular life you are building. You have built your fortress. You have enacted the glorious silence. Now we must fill that new space with the most magnetic energy known to humankind, genuine, unshakable joy and inner peace. This is not about putting on a happy face for the world to see. This is not about posting fake smiling pictures on Instagram to prove a point. That is a reaction, and a reaction is born of neediness. What we are cultivating is a state of being that is so solid, so internally generated, that it radiates from you like warmth from the sun. It becomes your default setting. This is the energy that will flip the avoidance script in a way they are completely unprepared for. Think about the dynamic that was in place. Their avoidance created anxiety in you. Your anxiety created a demand for reassurance from them. Their wiring interpreted that demand as a threat to their autonomy, which made them withdraw further, which in turn amplified your anxiety. It was a vicious, painful cycle. You were the chaotic, turbulent ocean, and they were the distant, unmovable shore. By radiating unbreakable inner peace, you fundamentally change the roles. You are no longer the turbulent ocean, you become the calm, deep, and serene lake. Your energy is no longer one of grasping need, but of serene wholeness. This is profoundly disarming to an avoidant. They are conditioned to expect turbulence, drama, and pressure. When they encounter your peace, it confuses their internal radar. There is nothing for their defenses to push against. Your calmness makes their own anxiety and restlessness more visible to themselves. They start to wonder, how are they so okay? Why am I the one feeling unsettled when I was the one who wanted space? This is the beginning of the flip. To radiate this peace, you must become a master of your internal state. This requires daily disciplined practice. It means engaging in activities that ground you and fill your cup without any external validation. This could be a daily meditation practice, where you sit with your breath and observe your thoughts without judgment, learning that you are not your anxiety. It could be long walks in nature, where you connect with something larger than yourself and your problems. It could be journaling to process your emotions onto the page instead of dumping them onto another person. It is about finding what brings you genuine quiet joy, reading a great book, cooking a beautiful meal, listening to music that moves your soul, engaging in a hobby that puts you in a state of flow where you lose track of time. When you are in this state, you are untouchable. Your value is not contingent on anyone else's actions, and this energy is palpable. When you do eventually have an interaction with the avoidant person, whether it's a brief text exchange or you see them in person, this is the energy you lead with. You are not cold. You are not aloof. You are warm, you are pleasant, you are brief, and you are profoundly at peace. You don't seek to extract reassurance from them. You don't ask loaded questions. You are simply present, calm, and completely unfazed by their presence or absence. This communicates a powerful unspoken message. Your power to affect my emotional state is gone. For someone who may have been uncomfortable with the intensity of your emotions, this is like a balm. It feels safe. It feels easy. And easy is what an avoidant is ultimately seeking. Your joy and peace become a sanctuary, a place they might, for the first time, feel they can approach without being asked to carry a heavy emotional load. You become not a source of drama in their life, but a potential source of relief. And that is an incredibly powerful attractor. Action is the absolute foundation of all greatness. You cannot think, wish, or hope your way into a new life. You must build it with your own two hands. This fourth move is where the internal work of the first three key points becomes an external, living, breathing reality. You must curate a life of irresistible attraction. You must become the prize. This means you stop marketing yourself and you start being the product that everyone wants to own. You stop trying to convince someone of your worth and you start embodying a worth that is so self-evident it requires no explanation. The avoidant person walked away from a version of you, a version that was perhaps overly focused on them, a version that had made them the center of the universe. Your mission now is to show them, not tell them, that the universe has a new center and it is you. This is about creating a life so vibrant, so passionate, and so full of purpose that a seat at your table becomes a privilege that is earned, not a right that is given. How do you curate this life? You get brutally honest about what you have let slide. What are the dreams you put on hold for that relationship? What are the passions that got buried under the anxiety? It's time to dig them up. Enroll in that course you've been thinking about. Start that side business. Train for that half marathon. Plan that trip you always talked about, even if you go alone or with a friend. Reconnect with your tribe, the friends who light you up, the family that grounds you. Fill your calendar with life. Your social media, if you use it, should not be a desperate billboard for your happiness, but a natural byproduct of it, a few authentic glimpses into a life that is clearly moving forward with momentum and joy. The key here is that you are not doing this for them. You are doing this for you. You are doing this because you have remembered that you are a dynamic, fascinating individual with a unique contribution to make to the world. This is the ultimate power move. When the avoidant individual gets a glimpse of this new reality, when they see a picture of you laughing with a new group of friends, when they hear through the grapevine about your promotion, when they sense that your world has expanded dramatically in their absence, it shatters their narrative. Their story was that you were needy, that you were a source of pressure, that life was better without you. Your curated life presents undeniable evidence to the contrary. It shows that you are not just fine, you are thriving. This creates what psychologists call social proof. If your life looks attractive and full of interesting people and experiences, you must be an attractive person. This triggers their fear of loss far more powerfully than any plea ever could. They begin to think, wait a minute, maybe I made a mistake. Look at what I'm missing. What if someone else gets to be a part of that? You are no longer the person chasing their validation. You are the person whose validation is now being sought. You have created a life so beautiful that they would be honored to be invited into it, and that is the precise moment the chase truly begins. The fortress is built. The silence has spoken volumes. Your radiant peace has disarmed them, and your incredible life has intrigued them. Contact is inevitable. They will reach out. This is the moment of truth. This is where most people fail, squandering all their progress in a moment of eager, desperate weakness. This is where you must master the art of the graceful, empowered re-entry. How you handle this first point of contact will determine whether you reset the entire dynamic or slide right back into the old, painful pattern. Your mission is simple. Be a glimpse of the new you and then vanish again. You are not a free sample. You are an exclusive, limited edition experience. When they text you, and they will, your response must be a masterclass in calm, confident energy. You do not reply immediately. You wait a few hours or even a day. You are a busy, fulfilled person, remember? Your response should be warm, light, and brief. Hey, good to hear from you. Things are great here, just super busy with your new project hobby. Hope you're well. That's it. You have been polite, you have been positive, you have subtly showcased your new life without bragging, and you have ended the interaction. The most critical part, you must be the one to end the conversation. You must be the one to put the period on the sentence. Well, gotta run. Take care. This single action flips the script with breathtaking force. For the entire history of your relationship, they have held the power to end interactions by withdrawing. Now you have taken that power. You have shown them that interacting with you is a pleasant, low-pressure experience, but also that you are not sitting by the phone waiting for their next message. You have left them with a taste of the new, confident, happy you, and you have left them wanting more. This creates a powerful psychological hook. They were expecting the old you, the one who would engage in a long, drawn-out conversation, desperately seeking clues about their feelings. Instead, they got a brief, sunny burst of your new reality, and then you were gone. This will mess with their head in the best possible way. It makes them the ones who have to initiate the next contact. It makes them the ones who have to wonder what you're doing that's so important. It makes them the chaser. Every subsequent interaction should follow the same pattern, warm, brief, and ended by you. You are training them that the only way to have sustained access to your light is to properly step forward and earn it. You are no longer available for endless, undefined, emotionally draining situationships. You are now a woman or man of value, of standards, and of impeccable boundaries. The chase is now on, and for the first time, you are the one being pursued. Let these words sink deep into the marrow of your bones. This is not a game of tricks, it is a journey back to yourself. For too long you have been living in the shadow of someone else's inability to love, someone else's fear of connection, and you have mistaken their limitations for your own lack of worth. That chapter ends today. The 7 words are the mantras of your new identity. The 7 moves are the disciplined actions that carve that identity into reality. The 7 days are the launch sequence for a new you. This transformation begins and ends with you reclaiming your sovereignty. It is about building a self-worth so formidable that no one's distance can demolish it, and engineering a silence so powerful that it speaks louder than any plea ever could. It is about cultivating a peace so profound that it becomes your greatest magnet, and curating a life so spectacular that you become the undeniable prize. When you master the art of the graceful re-entry, you complete the circuit. You take all that internal work and you express it in a single powerful interaction that shatters their old perception of you. You are no longer the option, you are the goal. You are no longer the one begging for a seat at their table, you are the one holding the door to your own kingdom, deciding who is worthy of an invitation. This process demands everything of you. Your courage, your discipline, and your unwavering faith in the magnificent person you are beneath the pain. It asks you to let go of the old story of heartbreak and to step boldly into a new story of self-respect and empowered attraction. The ache you feel is not a life sentence, it is the fuel for your rebirth. So I ask you, are you ready? Are you ready to stop chasing and start becoming? Are you ready to flip the script, to turn the tables, to command the respect and the pursuit you have always deserved? Your new life, a life where you are cherished, valued, and chased, is waiting for you to take these 7 moves. The countdown starts now. Thank you and goodbye from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for having the courage to be here, to listen, and to choose a different path for yourself. Your breakthrough is on the other side of these actions. Now go out there and claim the love and the life you are worthy of. I believe in you. Go get it. Goodbye.